Today's topic is about replication of DNA, which is occurring in a S phase of the cell cycle. So it is a process of copying the DNA. So whatever the genetic information present in mother cell that is copied and transformed to the daughter cell. So that is basic DNA replication. So whatever the inherited information that is transformed from mother cell to the daughter cell. Now next, this DNA replication is semi-conservative in our body, so which is explained by this Michelson-Stahl experiment. So in this experiment, bacteria were grown in N15 nitrogen medium. All were labeled with this heavy nitrogen, that is N15 heavy nitrogen. So this original parent molecule which are grown over this heavy nitrogen are shown in a blue color. Now this original parent molecule allowed to divide in a normal N14 nitrogen medium. So what are the first generation is developed? So all DNA molecule that is half labeled means one old strand of a heavy nitrogen is remain there, that is N15, and another strand is synthesized in first generation that is totally made up of the normal N14 nitrogen. Now this first generation is also allowed to divide, and the second generation is developed which is containing half labeled and half completely unlabeled type of a DNA molecule. So what happened, one old strand of the DNA of the first generation that is remain, and again new strand is synthesized with the help of this N14 nitrogen. So every time this new strand is synthesized, that is complementary to the older strand. So this considers a semi-conservative nature of the DNA replication, and during this replication base pairing rule is maintained. So which are the basic steps of this DNA replication? So first, identify the site of origin, so from where the DNA replication is started, that will be identified. Then unwinding of the spiral helical structure of the DNA, that is separating of the both the strand of the DNA. So formation of replication bubble and replication fork. So when these two strand of DNA is separated, it is creating one structure that is called as a replication bubble or replication fork. After that, different enzymes are needed for this replication. So role of enzyme and proteins in initiation, elongation and termination of this replication. Now what are the end portion of DNA that is considered a telomere, and that will be replicated with the help of enzyme telomerase. Now once that replication is completed, it is proofreading. So whether that all information is correctly transformed or not, that is considered a proofreading. So if there is any mismatch in this proofreading, then repair of damage occur in DNA, that is occur with the help of DNA repair mechanism. So this DNA repair mechanism is very helpful to identify any mismatch in the replication, and if it is identified, then immediately it will be repaired. Next step, that is initiation of the DNA replication. So initiation, so first we have to identify so from where the replication will be started. So recognition of site of origin of replication, that is called as the ORI. So there is a DNA double helical structure. So from over that particular site will be identified, and that site is considered the ORI, that is origin of replication. So it is known as a ARS, that is autonomous replicating sequence in the mammals. So for the mammals there are multiple ORI sites, and that is considered ARS, that is autonomous replicating sequences. While higher organism have replicators, that is ORE, that is origin replication element. So some for the in our body also it is considered ORE, that is origin replication element. Now this origin of replication is located adjacent to an approximately 80 base pair, and that is rich in A to T sequence, that is easy to unwind. Simple, in DNA structure you are knowing that A to T, that is containing two hydrogen bond, which is comparatively easy to break in relation to the CG, which is containing 3 hydrogen bond. So that A to T rich sequence is identified, and that is used as a origin of replication. This area is also recognized by the origin recognition complex, that is ORC. So first origin of replication, then formation of this replicon, and that is extension of replicon, and finally a new strand of DNA is synthesized. So from one parent DNA strand, two new daughter DNA strands are synthesized. Now, DNA replisome. So, complex of enzymes and factor required for this DNA replication is called as a DNA replicase system or replisome. So, this replisome containing about more than 20 enzymes and protein. So, which are the enzymes and protein utilized in the DNA replication? So, protein A or DNA A, that is bind at the site of origin. So first starting, so binding of site for the origin, that is origin of the replication, and that is called a protein A. Another, that is helicase or DNA B, that is separate the strand of the DNA in both the directions. So you have to remember that protein A, helicase, or otherwise name, that is DNA A and DNA B, which can be asked as a MCQ question. Further, which are the other enzymes that we will look? Topoisomerase. The basic use of this topoisomerase, that is relief of the supercoiling. Simple, you can take a one rubber band, you can twist that rubber band and you can separate that rubber band in the center. So what happen over both the side, when you are separating both the sides, supercoiling will be generated. Same thing will happen in the DNA molecule. So this supercoiling that need to be relieved, that is with the help of topoisomerase 1 and 2. So type 1, that is transient break in one strand, so that supercoiling will be relieved. Now type 2, that is transient break in both the strands of the DNA. So ultimate purpose, that is unwinding the DNA and relief of the supercoiling. Sometime the type 3 and 4, that is also consider in relation to the break in one strand and double strand respectively. Another enzyme, that is gyrase, that is bacterial topoisomerase type 2. So it is generally found in bacteria and activity as a type 2 topoisomerase. Another important enzyme in mammalian, that is helicase, separates the DNA strand without cut. You can compare it with the topoisomerase. So helicase separate the DNA strand but without cutting off any DNA molecule or strand. So DNA primase, that initiate the RNA primer synthesis. So first primase is needed, which will start this RNA primer formation. So once that primer formation, then both strands are separated, but they can be collapse. The DNA strand should not collapse, and that is taken care by this SSB, that is single strand binding protein, which prevents premature annealing of this double stranded DNA molecule. Now DNA ligase enzyme, which will seals nick between nascent chain and Okazaki fragment. So these are the important enzymes which are needed for this DNA replication. So we will look at replication bubble. This replication bubble, which is developed due to that activity of the helicase or DNA B, which separate the short region of the DNA. So helicase here shown in the picture. So this enzyme will separate both the strand of DNA, breaks the hydrogen bond between that two strands of the DNA. ATP is utilized for the breaking of this hydrogen bond. This helicase that moves in the both the direction and separates the strand ahead of the replication, so other enzyme and protein can work properly. Now forms the replication bubble or replication fork. So a structure is resembling of a fork, so it is also called as a replication fork. Now the same picture, helicase, that is uses energy from ATP to unwind the duplex of DNA. Helicase separate the DNA in both direction and creating two replication fork. Now this fork, whatever the replication fork is developed, that is maintained with the help of SSB, that is single stranded binding protein. So they are binding over the single strand, so name is given accordingly. Now next, that is protein A or DNA A, that is bind at the origin site to open the duplex. So first the duplex or spiral helical structure, that is open up, that is with the help of protein A. Next, that is topoisomerase. When duplex is open, there is a supercoiling will be generated, so need to relieve supercoil, and that is possible with the help of topoisomerase, that you can see in the picture, that topoisomerase. Now single strand binding protein binds to the separated DNA strand to keep them apart. So prevent collapsing or reannealing of this DNA structure. There is a need of this SSB, which keep them apart. Now that SSB that you can see in the picture. Further, primase. So once that SSB is attached, primase activity will be there, that will initiate short RNA segment formation. So here you can see that primase in the picture, that primase. Now with the help of this primase, that RNA primer is synthesized. This Once RNA primer is synthesized, DNA polymerase will work and synthesize new DNA strand. So before DNA strand formation, that topoisomerase as well as protein A and SSB as well as primase is needed. Now this DNA polymerase that is working over the both the strand and helping to make a new DNA strand. So enzymes in this DNA synthesis, so that DNA polymerase that is considered most important, so incorporate this deoxynucleoside monophosphate sequentially, and these new nucleosides are added in the sequence of 5' to 3' direction on the template strand. So for the bacteria, you have to remember DNA polymerase 3, that is the main replication enzyme, which is also made up of the 4 units. They are the beta, gamma, delta and delta dash units. Now bacterial DNA polymerase 1, that is considered a repair enzyme, and from this DNA polymerase 1, that one clino fragment is also identified and which is utilized for the recombinant DNA technology that we will look later on. At present, you have to remember for bacteria DNA polymerase 1 and 3. 3 is the main replication enzyme for bacteria. Inside our body, for the mammalian replication, you have to remember total 5 important DNA polymerase. They are the alpha, beta, gamma, delta and epsilon. Now first one, that is alpha, so which is utilized for the gap filling and synthesis of lagging strand. Now when two strands are replicating, so one strand that is replicate in the form of lagging strand and another that is in the leading strand. Now this lagging strand is formed with the help of DNA polymerase alpha, DNA polymerase beta, which is utilized for the DNA repair mechanism. Now one more DNA polymerase, that is gamma. So this gamma is not utilized for the nuclear DNA replication, which is utilized, gamma is utilized for the mitochondrial DNA synthesis. Furthermore, that is DNA polymerase delta. It is processive in nature and it is synthesizing that leading strand over the DNA. So you have to remember that alpha and delta, alpha for the lagging strand, delta for the leading strand, that you have to remember for the MCQ purpose also. Next, that is DNA polymerase epsilon, which is used as a DNA proofreading and repair mechanism. So repair mechanism is occurring with the help of DNA polymerase beta as well as epsilon. So next, DNA replication first requires the RNA primer. So first helicase is needed, supercoiling is removed by this topoisomerase, then SSB, single stranded binding protein, then next that is RNA primer is needed. So RNA primer, that is 100 to 200 nucleotide long, and it is synthesized with the help of RNA primase enzyme. This RNA primer is synthesized, so RNA primer synthesized complementary to the template strand. It is same as a DNA formation, so it is also complementary, provide a free 3' hydroxyl group for the DNA polymerase activity. We have seen that there is a DNA polymerase alpha needed for the lagging strand formation, DNA polymerase delta needed for the leading strand formation, but this DNA polymerase will work only if there is a provided a free 3' hydroxyl group by this RNA primer. So for the activity of this DNA polymerase, RNA primer is needed. Once this RNA primer is utilized, that RNA primer is replaced by this DNA polymerase later on, and that is work as a exonuclease activity. Now the leading strand needs only one primer, while the lagging strand needs multiple primer, and this multiple short fragment is developed, that is considered the Okazaki fragment. So how exactly is occurring, that is template strand, that is from the parent whatever the DNA strand, that is work as a template strand. So over that template strand a new strand will be synthesized. When new strand is synthesized, base pairing rule is always maintained and it is in a direction of 5' to 3'. So in this template strand you can see that sequence, and according to opposite sequence base pairing rule is maintained, that is T2A, C2G, C2G, G2C and A to T. Now next, that is over the template strand that C is present, so complementary G will come, that is in the form of deoxy GTP. So when it is added, that will be added over the 3' end, free 3' end of the new strand, and when it is attached, pyrophosphate will be removed, and so deoxy GMP will be added in a new strand. So that is exactly how new strand is, new nucleotides are added. So old strand First it is parent strand that is partially unwound. Then what happen, old strand will work as a template and new strand is made based on the base pairing rule. So what happen, both strands are replicating simultaneously. Now in daughter cell, one parent cell and one newly synthesized strand will be there. So old strand is not degraded but it is conserved or going in the daughter cell. So it is called as a semi-conservative DNA replication. Now this DNA replication that is take place simultaneously. So replication fork or bubble development is there. Along with that, you have to remember direction of synthesis of leading strand that is occurring with the help of DNA polymerase delta. So that is an opposite direction, that is direction of synthesis of lagging strand, that is also called considered as a retrograde strand. So lagging strand which is synthesized with the help of DNA polymerase alpha. Now the direction of fork movement you have to remember. So that is how leading strand and lagging strand. So further in detail, so first that helicase which is separating both the strand of the DNA. Next that is topoisomerase which will relieve the supercoiling. So after that topoisomerase, leading and lagging strand formation. So for that first leading strand formation, already we have discussed first primer is needed. So RNA primase which will synthesize RNA primer molecule, then DNA polymerase delta will work and form the leading strand. What about the lagging strand? So first again that primase enzyme is needed which will form primer, then DNA polymerase alpha which is for the lagging strand formation. Further continuation is occurring sometime with the help of DNA polymerase delta. So that is showing how exactly leading and lagging strand formation. Again that same leading strand that is continue formation, lagging strand that is in a fragment, and these fragment are called as the Okazaki fragments. Now it is compared with the unzipping. So here that picture of zip, so you can simply remember that replication is also compared with the DNA unzip. Now eukaryotic primer removal, once that utilization of primer is over, then it will be removed, and for this removing two enzymes are involved. So one that is RNase H1. So this RNase H1 that will identify this RNA primer, and this RNA primer is removed with the help of this RNase H1 enzyme. Another that is flap endonuclease 1, short form that is FEN1, recognize the flap. So whatever the unannealed portion of RNA that is recognized near the 5' end of the primer and cleaves this downstream in the DNA region of the primer. So once it is identified, this flap endonuclease remove whatever this unannealed RNA portion over the DNA structure. Whatever the removed portion, that will be again resynthesized or DNA molecule or deoxynucleoside monophosphate is added with the help of DNA polymerase delta. So finally this RNA primer is removed and replaced by these DNA molecules. So even after that replication, whatever the gaps are remaining, they are filled and ligated by this DNA ligase enzyme. So last, there is a working of the DNA ligase enzyme. After all this replication is over, proofreading is done whether that replication is occurred properly or not. So if it is found faulty, then DNA repair mechanism will work, and once that DNA replication is completed, this newly synthesized DNA will be incorporated into the chromatin. So how this chromosome formation, that we will look. New double strand DNA molecule which is size of a 2 nanometer. First it will wound around the histone molecule. So histone, so it is histone and this newly synthesized double stranded DNA that will make nucleosome, and this wounding is occurred with the help of chaperone protein and chromatin remodeling complexes. So it is about 10 nanometer in size. Further, there is a condensation of nucleosome and making a chromatin fibril that is about 30 nanometer in size. Further, extended chromosome that is making 300 nanometer in size. Further condensation and lastly formation of the chromosome that is about 1400 nanometer. So basic summary of this DNA replication. So origin of replication. So first from where replication will be started, that will be identified. Then separating both the strand, that is considered unwinding of the DNA. Formation of replication fork or bubble. RNA primer is first needed to make a RNA. For that RNA primer formation, RNA primase enzyme is needed. DNA synthesized in a continuous in the leading strand, and discontinue in the lagging strand, and that lagging strand that is considered Okazaki fragment. Elongation that is occurring in both strand from 5' to 3' direction. RNA pieces are then removed with the help of these RNase H1 and FEN1 enzyme. What are the gaps are remaining, that is filled and ligated with the help of DNA ligase enzyme. Proofreading will be done and finally organized into the chromatin. So main enzyme involved in this replication are DNA polymerase, helicase, topoisomerase, DNA primase, SSB single strand binding protein, and DNA ligase. So that is all about the summary of DNA replication.